Hello and welcome. My name is Rick, and for the past 3 years I've been obsessed with learning languages. In this video, I want to focus on one particular technique that has probably been the most effective for me in learning Nihongo, Portuguese, Italiano, Español and Deutsch. That technique is called speech shadowing, or language shadowing. Now, chances are you've probably already tried some form of language shadowing before.
Say, Mama. Mama. Mama.
When we're young, we don't have much of a choice. We learn our native language mostly through language shadowing. Many language learning tools include elements of it, but in my opinion, they don't quite capture the essence, and therefore they're not as effective as they could be. At its core, language shadowing is simply mimicking the natural speech of another language, repeating it back as you listen. For example, on Duolingo, you might repeat a phrase into the microphone and the app checks if you've said the words correctly.
Sì, io parlo inglese. E tu?
But the real power of shadowing lies in listening and repeating without needing to look at or interact with your screen. For me, that's what makes it so valuable. I can use it when I'm commuting to work,
Solamente 4 o 5 minuti.
when I'm in the shower,
Quercia e dolcezza, pazienza e tempo.
Quercia e dolcezza, pazienza e tempo.
those small moments throughout the day when I wouldn't be able to study using an app or textbook. It's so important to me that I don't have to take time out of my day to sit down and study. I can turn these usually mundane tasks into language learning opportunities, and I can easily build up hours of exposure each week instead of just a few minutes before bed when the Duolingo owl starts pestering me. Today, I'll show you how I use languageshadowing.com to apply this method, but again, this method can be applied to any content that you're able to find and that you can listen to. Inside languageshadowing.com, I've created lists of key phrases that are personally relevant to me. Let's take a look at one of my lists. When I click Add Phrases, I can enter English phrases I want to learn. The site then automatically translates them into my target language. Top tip, you can toggle the input languages, so if you already know the phrase in your target language, you can enter it directly. From there, I can press play and it will go through each phrase one by one. To make shadowing even more effective, I personally go through 3 progressive stages.
Sto tagliando le verdure.
Sto tagliando le verdure.
Puoi passare.
First, I have the settings configured. I have the shadow setting enabled, so after each Italian phrase, there's a short pause for me to repeat. That's the shadowing phase. During this pause, focus on imitating the sounds you just listened to. Focus on pronunciation and rhythm, and you will start to absorb the meaning of the words as a byproduct of this process. You can have your native language, in my case English, play out loud, so I don't even have to look at the screen and I can be completely hands-free. Or sometimes, when I am able to look at the screen, I like to read the English as the Italian audio plays, and then during the pause, the shadowing phase, I can read the Italian and speak it out loud.
Il sole sorge a est.
Il sole sorge a est.
Once I feel I have a solid understanding of the pronunciation and I can comfortably imitate the sounds, I then move on to the second stage.
How long does it take to cook?
Quanto tempo è
Quanto
necessario?
tempo ci vuole per cucinare?
Quanto tempo ci vuole per cucinare?
Here I enable the active recall setting, which pauses the audio before you hear the language you're learning. For me, this pauses after the English, but before the Italian is played, giving me a moment to say the Italian phrase from memory. It's a really great way to test the memory of your pronunciation and also reveal if you've actually learnt the translation or if you're still just parroting. This helps you to identify what still needs work, so you can focus on those phrases by skipping back and trying again. Also, the very act of recalling strengthens your memory.
Posso avere la ricetta?
Posso avere la ricetta? Sto assaggiando la zuppa.
Lastly, for the final step, I disable both the English audio and the shadowing phase. Now I'm just listening to the Italian in real time, responding naturally as I hear it. Repeating in real time like this lets you cover more phrases in less time, which is ideal if you've already built up some familiarity with the language. Once you've completed these 3 steps and you feel more confident with a set of phrases, you can move on to a new list and start to change what you practice. As you progress, your content should evolve with you. If you're just starting out, focus on key verbs and short phrases. Things like to be, to do. You can use the built-in AI prompter to generate practice sentences using, for example, these verbs. Just type the verb to be and hit generate phrases, and the app will create a list of natural example sentences built around that verb. It's a simple way to get started and build a foundation of the most common patterns you'll use all the time. But as you become more confident, you can start exploring richer, more authentic content. Language Shadowing's article mode makes this really easy. You can paste in any text and it automatically breaks it into sentences for you to shadow naturally, one at a time. You can paste articles from the web or even YouTube links. The app will pull the transcript so you can shadow the content you already enjoy just in the language you're learning. And one of my favorite ways to use it is with song lyrics. I love listening to Italian music, and learning the lyrics and what they actually mean is such a fun way to deepen your understanding of a language. Just Google the lyrics, copy them and paste them straight into the app. They're usually formatted perfectly for shadowing straight away. If you're after something more challenging, or if you're interested in world affairs, Language Shadowing also has a daily world news list, perfect for advanced learners who want to train their ear on more complex topics and faster speech. And if you're traveling or living abroad, this method also works beautifully. Personally, I like to compile a list of all of the phrases I use each day whilst I'm traveling. Then in the evenings, I listen back and review them again so they stick for the rest of the trip. By the end of the trip, I've got a compact personal phrase book of everything I actually needed and actually learnt whilst away. At the end of the day, the key is to build the habit. Just put your headphones in and listen and repeat as much as possible. Expose yourself to the language whenever you can, not just during short study sessions, but throughout your daily routine. If you make language shadowing part of your habits, even just for a few minutes during everyday tasks, you'll be amazed at how much progress you make over time. It's worked incredibly well for me, and I hope it works for you too. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on your language learning journey, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.